The following is an independently produced program. The opinions expressed by the commentator and his guests for the duration of the program are solely his own and not that of the station, its managers, or owners.
More power at your service.
More power at your service.
Programa nga magadulong sa inyo sang pinakaulihi kag importante nga mga impormasyon may kaangtanan sa operasyon sang inyo distribution utility sa Iloilo, ang More Electric and Power Corporation. More power at your service.
More power at your service. Programa nga magahatag sang kaatagan sa mga ginoobra sang More Power. Agod mapanami pagid ang serbisyo sa inyo. Mahibaluan ang pinakaulihi nga tikang padulong sa modernisasyon kag advisory sa power interruptions.
Kampanya kontra sa mga pagpangawat sa kuryente, electrical safety tips, corporate social responsibility projects,
kag mapamatian man ang tingog sang mga konsumidor.
More power at your service.
More power at your service.
Diri kita subong sa bag-o nga control center sang More Power nga nahamtang sa Diversion Road diri sa distrito sang Mandurriao. Igatour namon kamo sa bag-o nga control center sang More Power kag kung paano ginapreparahan sa tion nga may dalagko nga mga okasyon kaangay sa nagahilapit nga Holy Week kag summer season. Manging kaupod naton ang Vice President for Network Operations sa More Power to explain to us ano bala ang papel or ano bala ang function sang mga makita naton nga mga panel diri no sa sulod sa control room. So iga walk through kita ni Sir Bill para nga mapakita sa inyo kag ma-explain sa inyo kung ano ini ka-importante ang ini nga mga facilities no diri sa substation or sa isa ka substation.
Okay, so our control room, as you can observe, this is fully air conditioned. Kasi lahat ng mga electronic device and very sensitive device nandito sa loob ng control room. And yes, as what being mentioned by Miss Joy, itong control room natin is the brain of our substation. So nandito yung power supply. You can see here the power supply in our substation coming from our battery room. So this is very critical that we need to monitor kasi ito yung nagbigay ng power dito sa entire control room. And yung mga relays, these are yung mga brain ng substation natin. Itong mga relays nag-provide ng automatic itong operation sa mga devices natin or equipment inside the substation. So there are mga abnormal voltages or abnormal yung supply coming from the grid. The monitoring, it can be monitored here and we can also download the data from these electronic devices. So 24/7, all of these devices are monitoring the condition and the health of our substation. And every time there are problems, we can view here, either real time and also we can download it. And this relay is also connected to our SCADA. And the SCADA will now provide or give command to all of these relays. Then these relays will also manage the operations of our substation. That is how critical this control room in our day-to-day operations dito sa ating control center and substations.
Okay. So, gano were the days, sir, na kailangan pa nating mag-trace up kung merong trouble, kung halimbawa may mga unscheduled power interruption, gano were the days na pupunta pa or mag-line tracing pa ang ating response team with this release, with this control, makita na natin sa system natin kung saan yung trouble at kung ano yung cause ng power interruption.
There are still tracing, but our tracing will now be very fast.
Alright.
Kasi our relays inside our control room can already capture yung mga possible location ng mga fault.
Okay.
So from the data from our relay, we can already pinpoint yung pinakamalapit saan ang cause ng outage. So, it will make our tracing very fast. And especially, once we operate our breakers, gone are the days na our substation tender will go outside and they will manually operate the breaker or manually operate the switch outside. This time, they can operate here inside the control room. They will just push the button of these relays and we can already energize or de-energize the transformer or the circuit breakers.
Okay. How about this one, sir?
So these are the protections of our substation. Ito mga line differential or transformer differential, those are just technical terms, but in layman's terms, these relays are monitoring the health of our substation, and we have set some sensitive settings here to protect the equipment. So basically, the big advantage here is this relay protect the life of our very expensive equipment inside the substation, like the power transformer, like yung circuit breakers. So this relay managed to protect the expensive equipment inside the substation. Aside from the protection of our expensive equipment inside the substation, we have also relays that monitor our feeder. So meaning we have 5 or 4 outgoing feeders. So we have relays that also looking sa mga disturbances or there are faults on those feeders, that this relay will record if there are some abnormal operations ng feeder, and also will isolate the fault if there are some abnormal, very high voltage or very high current that the relay will send. So we set some limits, the safety limits to protect our equipment, and of course to protect also the public. Very important is we consider also the safety of our consumers, and this relay really help us to protect our equipment and at the same time the safety of our consumers or the public. So these are the power supply, both AC and the DC supply that feed power in our control room, and we monitor also the health of this power supply because very critical ito. This supply should always be online 24/7. Since if the supply will lose, this relay will no longer, or our equipment inside the substation will no longer operate. That's why the power supply is very critical here inside the control room.
Kaginaging pakita namon sa inyo ang control room, no, sa idalom, and diri subong nagsaka kita sa second floor. Diri kita mismo sa control center sa More Power. This is manned 24/7 by our SOS or System Operations Specialist, no, mga engineer ni sila ang naga-man diri kag of course ang aton ni helpline ara man sa adjacent nga room, no, nga naga-receive sa mga calls at chats from our consumers, no, kung may mga concerns sila and mga queries regarding sa aton nga mga services. Sa subong iga-walk through kita ni Sir Bale, ano ba lang makita naton sa likod naton nga screen, and why do we really need to have this facility, no, ang control center naton? Yes, Sir Bale, take it away.
So our system operation control center is 24/7. Dito talaga, ito yung nagtutok every day. They are monitoring the condition of our network. And that's why very important that we have this control center, because this will give us a bigger view or perspective on the entire network of More Power. So here, we can see the presentation of our network showing a geographic single line diagram. So this one, we can view here the network line devices, our ACR, the location of our load break switches, and the existing setup, whether it is normally open or closed. Kasi there are cases that we need to transfer the load from one source to another, especially if we want to isolate, if there are fault that we want to isolate and we want to minimize the customers affected. Dito yan, ginaplan with our sa system operation engineers on how to transfer the loading, on how to restore power to those affected customer. So here, this is the geographic location of our network, the single line layout, and showing the different barangays and the different streets within the city of Iloilo. So,
okay. Just a, ano lang, sir, clarification. These lines, no, colored lines, amo ni siya ang feeder backbone naton.
yeah, the feeder backbone and the lateral. So there are different colors. It signifies that ito is coming from, for example, yung green, coming from a different source.
Okay.
And the red one is also another feeder that is coming from another substation. So our network, as you can see, is now interconnected. That's why if there are some problem, for example here, then this green line, we can isolate a portion of this line and we can transfer the source to the red line, which is also serving or connected to another substation.
And very important also, no, during the Bayala, if you notice in our Facebook postings, kung may mga scheduled or unscheduled power interruption, we normally post a portion of, let's say, feeder nga amoni or amoni siya nga feeder. Very important also to know kung di ikaw connected nga feeder. And if may mga barangays bala kita nga gina-mention, Sir Bill, nga portion of this barangay, just let us know through our Facebook, message us kay our SOS, maka-identify sila. They will identify kung din ikaw specific nga feeder connected. Okay.
And aside for the feeder, if the customer will report a pool number, for example, so it would be very easy for us to locate your location. You just give us the pool number that you can see on our, that is painted on our pool. Then we can locate you somewhere here. If you will give us the pool number location, then we can already identify your exact location of the customer based on this system that we are using also here in our control center.
Okay. So, isa man ka importante, Sir Bill, no, sa inyo bala nga balay, sa tubang balay nyo may poste dira or may pole. Memorize yun na. That's only 6-digit na number. Para in case of emergency, dasig nga malocate ang inyong nga balay or inyong nga pole, ihantag nyo lang ang pole number sa amon helpline through Facebook or pagpatawag ninyo para dasig nga maglocate kay diri sa control center nato nakatag na nitanan ang mga poles.
Yeah, location of the poles and also the location of the meters. So if you will give us also your meter number or account number, we can also locate you. So either you will give us the pool number, the meter number, or the account number. Then that's the data that we need so that we can immediately locate if there are some, you have reports, you have some requests, then we can easily locate your house or the location of those reports. So aside from the pool number, if you have problems with your meter or you want to report a problem with loose connection or sparking
Hindi lang
wires.
love life, sir, no? Kung heartbroken ka, meters lang good.
Meters. So we can also locate your meters through our system. We have now identified specific location for our meters. So, for example, here, there's a report for a meter. We can view your meter number, serial number. So these are the data that you can provide us so that we can locate the location of your meter. And also, it's not only the location, but we can already have an initial view of what your meter, the type of your meter, whether it is digital or still conventional, and the initial data also of your meter. So that we can easily dispatch it to our response team. And our response team already have an idea on the type of meter that you are using.
Sir Bill, you mentioned earlier ang SCADA. Ano ang functions and the benefits, of course, sa customers natin?
So our SCADA is very crucial in our operations because aside that we can monitor the network condition, we can also operate our line devices and our substation through our SCADA. So now our response time in our restoration and service restoration and inspection, and especially the tracing, will now be faster with the help of our SCADA. And instead of, right now, we are manually operating our substation or our line devices, we will be sending a crew to operate our load break switch and ACR. With the SCADA, we don't need anymore to send somebody or send a crew to operate our line devices and our substation.
All right. And very timely, sir, because subong, next week, Holy Week na, and kapasulod naman kita sa summer season. What are the preparations of More Power kapareho sini nga mga okasyon?
Another event that we are preparing is our Holy Week contingency. And for this event, of course, we understand that the load is not that high or like a dinagyang, that demand will increase. But with the Holy Week contingency, what we are monitoring is the activities, especially sa mga major na church. Example, in Haro Cathedral or at Molo Church,
yeah.
and some other big churches here in Iloilo. We are deploying also our response team within the area, especially during Good Friday or Black Saturday or Easter Sunday, where there are already many activities going on in the surroundings, especially my procession. So our response team are naka-standby very close to the area so that if there are problems, we can immediately respond and restore the power. And we will be coordinating also with the contact person sa parish church so that they can easily coordinate with us.
Okay. Lastly, siguro, sir, your message to our customers, appeal sa ila, although kita, we are prepared, our system is ready, I mean, robust, but of course, no, ang cooperation sang aton sini nga mga customers para nga malikawan naton ang mga unscheduled power interruption.
So, bago pa lang nag-start ang summer season, but we observe na marami na mga burador na being deployed. And in fact, we keep on removing already mga burador na naitanggal sa ating lines. And now, summer, medyo okay lang, but once there's a rain, na mayroong ulan, kahit kaunti lang, those mga burador nga naintangled or those string of yung anong tawag dyan, nylon string.
Nylon.
It can already, affect our system and it can cause power interruptions. Like recently, there are power interruptions that our feeder were affected because of the entangled kites or entangled nylon. So, and aside from that, we are appealing to the public for safety. Please, for the safety of your children, please always remind them not to fly the burador near our lines. Siguro, if pwede doon sa malayo na vacant area, there are no power lines because if mayroong power lines is very unsafe, especially for our children playing the kites.
Alright. Sir Bill, thank you so much sa pag-accommodate ug pagdalat diri sa aton sa control center para makita man sang aton sining mga consumers.
Thank you, Miss Joy, and have a good day.
Hi! Ako gali si Manong yung Moroy. Masadya kag makalilingaw ang pagpalupad sa burador. Apang pwede gining halinan sa disgrasya. Gani, yari ako para maghatag sa inyo sa mga importante nga pahanumdum angot diri. Yari ang mga bagay nga dapat nyo tandaan agud makalikaw kamo sa mga disgrasya nga posible matabo. Una, hindi magpalupad sa burador malapit sa mga power lines kay kung magsangkat ini, mahimo makatugas ang pag-trip off kag magaresulta sa pag-brown out. Ikadua, magpalupad lamang sa burador sa open areas nga wala sang linya sang kuryente. Ikatatlo, hindi magpalupad sa burador sa kagabihon kay delikado ini. Imuson gid naton ini pagkatapos. Kaglabi sa tanan, hindi gid pagkuwaon ang burador nga nagsangat sa linya sang kuryente. Kung ini matabo, gilayon nga magtawag sa More Power Hotline sa 330-MORE or 330-6673 para sa insigida nga assistance. Ang ini nga mga tugon ginadulong sa inyo sang More Power Iloilo. Sa liwat, ini si Manong Yumuroy nagapahanumdum sa inyo nga maghalong gid kita para malayo sa disgrasya.
Bilang kabahin sa gihapon sang Women's Month celebration, aton gimpamangkot ang pila ka mga kaupdanan naton nga babayeng empleyado diri sa More Power. Kon para sa ila, ano ang ginatawag nga women empowerment?
For me, women empowerment means encouraging women to be unapologetic in flaunting what they've got. Kita nga mga women, we have all the right to express ourselves and to carry ourselves. And nobody should call us out by the way we dress, the way kita maghambal, and the way kita mag-act. We should not be ashamed for choosing to break the barriers that hinder us from expressing ourselves, because there is no limit in achieving the best version of us. And our best version is our real version.
Well, I see women empowerment as a platform. This movement dates back many centuries ago, but ang pinaka-notable gid siguro was during the 19th century where women were allowed for the very first time to exercise their right of suffrage. Since then, opportunities for women started to grow and prosper. Women empowerment as a platform gives us the opportunity to showcase our strengths, not primarily siguro to combat the negative insights of the society, but rather to showcase our capabilities, uplift other women, and build our value. So as a result of those successful movements, women now are given the chance nga mag-lead, liberty to decide and to determine our own choices. Ginahatagan man kita subong sang favorable circumstances to rise on our respective chosen fields.
Women empowerment is to aspire every woman to reach her full potential. It is to break the wall that could limit what a woman can do. This is to give confidence and support to every female to the role they want by promoting gender equality, hearing women's voice, and women's right.
For me, women empowerment is simply the belief that women are not limited and they can be anything that they want when they put their minds and hearts into it. The belief that women empowerment is that we don't box women into society's expectations anymore. There is no limitation or expectation for what is a woman to do.
One aspect of women empowerment talks about finding one's worth as a woman. But the question is, when and where do we start finding and realizing our worth as a woman? I personally believe that it starts with our experiences, both the good and the bad. And then we use these experiences, or these experiences shape us as to the kind of woman that we are. Finding one's worth means that you're brave enough to own up your mistakes and recognize your lowest moments, and that no matter how big or bad these mistakes are, no matter how low you feel at that time, you use this again as an opportunity to inspire others, to influence others, and to plant that courage within them to speak up and stand up.
Someone is not afraid to show her true self, someone who is able to express her beliefs and stand on those beliefs, and then someone who is not afraid to go against the flow, and someone who is able to set her own boundaries.
It should not be about gender competition, so women should not always think that they should be equal to men, because women have their own dreams, their own skill sets, their own aspirations, their own talents in life. So we should always think that we are women and we are capable and we are unique in this world.
Women empowerment means making women stronger and powerful. Discrimination should be eliminated. We should break the barriers that hinder a woman's opportunity in proving herself to the world. Society should promote equal opportunities for everyone. It would be great if we, women, support each other so we can positively grow in all aspects of life and contribute to a better community. Let us uplift each other to stand firm on what we believe is right and fearlessly face whatever trials that may come along the way.
Women empowerment para sa akon is pag-promote sang self-worth, gender equality, kag paghatag sang equal opportunities, rights kag access sa mga kababayan.
Granting women the opportunities to participate fully in society, such as providing access for education and advocating the rights of the women, giving women the voice in decision-making, and of course, providing women a potential and pursuing their goals without limitations and discrimination.
Women empowerment on this day and age is madamo ang nagahatag nga support and mga resources kag opportunities sa mga babae para ma-reach man ang ilang full potential.
Promoting self-worth and right choice, a good influence to other women.
Aton man gimpamangkot ang mga babae nga engineer kung ano ang pwede nila ma-advise sa mga kababaihan nga luyag magpursu sa ilang career sa energy sector.
We all know the fact that energy sector is a male-dominating industry. We women should not limit ourselves based on the stereotypes like mambal kita ay panglalaki lang ni nga ubra, hindi ta ni kaya sa mga babae. We should get out of our comfort zone, have courage, confidence, and give everything what we got and explore all our options. When we pursue our career, we should be passionate about it. We should do not pressure ourselves to fit in, be true to ourselves, and embrace what makes you different.
Confident nga hatag sa ila spot sa ila workplace, and then kung may mga challenges siguro ma-overcome gina nila.
The energy sector needs diverse perspectives and talents. Believe in yourself and in your ability and make a significant contribution. Especially find a mentor, be male or female, who can offer guidance and support for you to navigate your career path.
At the end of the day, hindi ka babae lang, babae ka.
So, sa tanan nga mga babae dira, let this always be your reminder, hindi ka babae lang, babae ka.
Ipakita natin sa mundo na lahat ay kayang gawin ng mga babae.
Abanse, babae.
Happy International Women's Day.
And remember, you belong.
Masadya ang kada konsumidor nga nahatagan sang notice ang power utility nga more power. Bangod imbes ang kinaandan nga notice ang disconnection, sila ang nahatagan sang notice nga may pagabatunon nga refund sang ila bill deposit. Sang kinaligdan nga tuig, nagsugod ang more power sa pagbalik sang gindeposito nga kantidad sa mga konsumidor. Basta kwalipikado gid lang, kag wala na kaagi nga na-delay sa pagbayad o kung nahatagan sang disconnection. Isa ini sa mga programa nga ginpangunahan sa nasambit nga distribution utility. Gani ang mga konsumidor, ginaganyat ang iban pa nga magbayad on time.
Kailangan mo on time sa magbayad para makakuha mo sa bill deposit.
Siyempre, bayad ko na yun para wala sang hindi mabtan sang due date.
Ay, dugang sa pangdadlaw nga gastuson.
Isa man sa nagtulod sa ila, agud hindi na pagpadugayon ang pagbayad sang ila buladan nga bill, among maayong nga serbisyo sang DU, ilabi na kung may mga gina-troubleshoot sa mga barangay. Madasig kag agresibo ang mga development sa nagkalain-lain nga pasilidad.
Tama ka nami sang service sang more.
Yan ibakal sa mga kinahanglanon sa sulod balay, ang upod, ibayad naman sa kuryente, ini nga bulan.
Ati nami gidya ang more power
Nakabaton sang tig 2,500 nga refund ang kada konsumidor. Ini ang More Power Balita Subong.
Kitay na kita sa bulan sang Abril kag ang amon liwat nga pahanumdum sa inyo nga mangin mahalungon agod likaw kita sa anuman nga peligro ilabi na gid ang sunog. Ini si Joy Fantilaga at your service.
Kag inyo nabatian ang More Power at your service.
More power at your service.
Tubtub sa masunod nga simana, mag-ululupod liwat kita, bangod.
You deserve more.
The preceding was an independently produced program. The opinions expressed by the commentator and his guests for the duration of the program are solely his own and not that of the station, its managers, or owners.